What's up? Thank you for tuning in to the Pearl in One channel, and this is May. Today I am going to tap into the new full moon in Aquarius vibes. This is the full moon in Aquarius vibe session. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Woo-wee. I don't know about y'all, but August has already been a doozy for me. And I have definitely been emptied. It's the easiest way for me to put it. Just completely emptied. And, you know, in this space, I'm just choosing to observe with a whole lot of detachment, so I do not fall into the pattern of absorbing. So maybe that's something that you guys could tend to yourself, and if you've been feeling emptied, we don't need to rush and try to fill the space. Let what is being streamed into the collective. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, like, as much as I'm aware and into this stuff, I'm just super particular about verbiage, because I'm all about keeping it 100, all about keeping it nitty gritty and palpable, digestible, but it is what it is. Ascension is definitely a highly advanced process, so I'm still blending the two, blending who I really am mixed with what flows through me. I want to keep this session pretty on point, because there's so much that can be talked about just about August alone. But I'm going to focus on just the full moon in Aquarius, and then I will more than likely make a just August 2025 vibe session, and potentially get out some zodiac messages also. So again, where's my Apollo? Where's my Apollo? What have y'all been vibing to lately? Am I allowed to say that I listen to Chris Brown on his channel, y'all? Are y'all gonna cancel me? That's fine. We all have souls, and not sometimes, it's hard to express it, but to be heard is to be heard, to be seen is to be seen. Okay, y'all, I'm just looking for the Apollo and the Santo. Maybe y'all just need a sage, because that's the only thing that here it is, right in my face. But yes, I've been listening to, some new Chris Brown. Bryson Tiller dropped. Shout out Kentucky. Been listening to Skylar Blatt. She's so adorable to me. And who else have I been listening to? Charlie XCX. She's been the GOAT. Right now, I just got a nice little instrumental going. I've always loved this instrumental and song too. I wonder if Erykah Badu has Aquarius placements. And with the way that the world and the internet's set up, I'm sure I could look it up, but I'm all about respecting people's privacy. So yes, I'm just gonna share a good, quick, energetic vibe with you guys. Go ahead and feel that. I really like the smell of Apollo. Do they use it in fragrances? Alright, and then now I re-upped on a selenite. Your girl needed some more. It is such a good aura cleanser. So shoot, let me just go ahead and get 555. Some for myself too. But alright, we're gonna get into it. Full moon in Aquarius. I shared on my community or my posts, whatever that's called, the new moon in Aquarius video that I did back in Aquarius season. And I titled that Renewal of the Poles. The poles, you know, being opposites. The complements, male, female, dark, light, peanut butter, jelly, you know what I mean? Renewal of the poles. So I would say this full moon in Aquarius is illuminating everything that has allowed for that process to happen. Like I was saying at the beginning, I feel emptied, and I'm just taking it hour by hour, honestly, but I'm just taking it as it comes. What degree is the moon in? $16 degrees. 16 degrees is what? Aries is 13, Taurus is 14, Gemini is 15, so Cancer is 16. Interesting. So the full moon is at a Cancer degree. I just wrote down somewhere, 3, 6, and 9. That's the creation codes. And for me, 3, 6, and 9 represent the stages, or just the different stages, phases of nourishing, because that's also what I wrote down. The creation codes and the nourishment codes, 3, 6, and 9, and it's just like the female body, the chest, the breast is the 3, the 6 is kind of like the pregnant mom, and then the 9 is like having the baby nourishing on your chest, you know what I mean? And then 3 is like mom, dad, and child, and then the 6 is mom, dad, and child, and the people that love them, and then the 9 is mom, dad, child, the people that love them, so their community, and then 9 includes ancestors. And the renewal of the poles, to me, is sounding like it's purifying everybody's creativity, so sacral chakra, as well as the way that people are choosing to nourish themselves, as well as their complement within the self and outside of the self. All right. Renewal of the poles. Which allows for that spark, that inner spark, or just the spark of life that keeps everything going, really. that spark of life that keeps everything going. You know, and if the poles are not operating at their best, or dirty, or diseased, or just any of those things, like whatever that is created is going to be the same thing. And as y'all can see, we got plenty of that, and I'm gonna need less of it. Thank you. But all right, let's just get into the theme, because these videos tend to be a little long. So I'm gonna get into it. What is the theme? What is our collective Pearl and Wood channel? What is the theme of this full moon in Aquarius? Also known as the Sturgeon Moon. I also read from another lady that I follow. Maybe her name is Starlight and Sage on Instagram, maybe. I guess she has a more pagan point of view. Excuse me if I'm incorrect, but she calls it the Green Moon. Alright, but please tell us our theme for this full moon in Aquarius. I'm using my typical decks. Star Code, Astro Oracle, the Herbal Astrology Oracle, the Elemental Empath Oracle, and Mystic Forest Oracle cards. Alright. Theme. Bow, bow, bow. Ooh. Solar flares. Okay. Shout out to all my people that know how to keep up with that. I used to keep up with the Schumann resonance and things like that, and then life got hectic. Keyword activate. So what is being activated? What is activation? Is our theme. Activation of the true self. Sister Girl got some sage and wings. That's what it looks like. Number 10, associated with the element of fire. So yeah, it's heated. Just like I've been saying in my other videos, the heat is rising. Isn't this so cool? Number 17. Wow, that's just a code for me. 1017 squad. If you know, you know. What is our theme for this full moon in Aquarius? Passion flower, surrender. It's associated with Neptune and the moon. Is Neptune still retrograde? Yes. That is one thing that I also noticed today when I looked at the transits. There's a couple few planets that are at that first degree. So Aries. Mars is at 1 degree Libra. Saturn, 1 degree Aries. Uranus, 1 degree Gemini. Neptune, 1 degree Aries. So, Mars is directly opposite of Saturn and Neptune right now. And it is trine Uranus. So, innovative ideas that can be acted on, you know, I feel like for those of us that have been doing that, like, you're going to see the fruits of your labor when it comes to anything innovative you've been working on. I'm getting that heavily. That's the activation. The activation of the true self. Surrender to the true self. Alright, last card for the theme. Starlight. Don't slow down manifestation through hesitation or worry. Keep the faith and create light in the dark. The path of the stars is made by the same energy. Ow. So yes, surrendering to the true self that has been forming, surrendering to the individual within the collective. And then this double owl, just for some symbols. Moon, water, sage. I really want to read this. You know, I'm trying not to take forever, but who cares? We're vibing. Solar flares activate. The sun's surface is always rolling. A flare can flash brightly on the surface or become a coronal mass ejection many times the size of the Earth that shoots out charged particles. When these particles head toward Earth, not only are our electronics disrupted, but also our politics heat up as we question old systems and grow hungry for new answers. Look, y'all, I don't even keep up with the news. What happened? What happened? The volume turns up on all astrological activity. High peaks of solar activity were recorded around the French Revolution, the American Revolution, and during the mid-1960s, times when people fought the status quo and sought revolutionary change. Action. Change is in the air. A flare of energy supports your work. The mood is restless, sparky, revolutionary, and curious. Uranus and Gemini. People are hungry for change. It's not the time to be quiet, but to be fast on your feet. Sheesh. Solar flares magnify the energy on any other cards you pull. When the sun is storming, our social and political world activates. Revolutionary change manifests. Y'all, what y'all here doing? Because why are we out here changing the world in real time? Because your girl, I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling bleak. Because where I'm at it ain't looking like nothing's happening. And I'm just like, it's like, nah, dog. You an OG vet in the game. Calm down and wait. So if I'm feeling like that, I'm sure a couple few of y'all are. So it's okay. We just gotta calm down. Okay, when the sun is storming, our social and political world activates, revolutionary change manifests, and trees grow faster in the forest. Aim carefully because a solar flare brings momentum, not thoughtfulness. That you have to provide. A calm metaphysical perspective may not be easy, but you can bring that in to create balance and longevity. What you build during a solar flare may be hot and fervent, but not necessarily long-lived. To turn an idea or a love affair into something permanent like a business plan or a partnership will take conscious effort. Challenge. Tempers flare along with the sun. You can scorch yourself with too much passionate action and not enough emotional sensitivity if you are not mindful. Gift. The sun is sending extra voltage and inspiration your way, so use it wisely. Feel the heat in the situation, the passion in the people involved, then balance that fire by adding water's compassion, the thoughtfulness of air, and the logistics of earth to turn that inspiration into reality. Look, y'all done cracked the code. Y'all done cracked them creation nourishment codes, and I'm seeing 717 on my clock. 717 is one of my favorite numbers to see, because that means you right on point to... I don't really like the word manifest, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's because it's overused or because... I don't know, but again, 717, manifesting the genius mixed with the inner drive, you know, and it's just like, you never know what you're going to come up with when it comes to that. Okay, so what numbers do we have? 17, 1 and 7 equals 8. We have 10, which is a 1. Connect to soul. Heed inner guidance, purify energy. What did I say? I feel empty because my poles have been renewed. And I'm ready to create. I'm ready to share my creation codes with y'all. And I'm ready to receive y'all's creation codes and nourishment codes. Alright, so how is this directly going to affect us? How are these full moon and Aquarius vibes going to affect us? 19 minutes. How is is this directly going to affect us? I don't know if I'm going to pull some tarot. I might. How's this full moon going to directly affect us? Trine sextile symbiosis, number 52. More birds. Okay, trine and sextile symbiosis. Those are astrological aspects. Trine means they are in the same element and within the same certain amount of degrees. Sextile means that they are in the same, what is masculine and feminine, like, what are those called? Modalities, maybe? I don't think it's called modality. Because modality, I think, is like cardinal, fixed, and mutable. But they're in the same whatever. I know my girl Heather Roan Robbins, Roan Robbins. I know she says it in the book. But they're astrological aspects that are more easy flowing because it's the same, basically. And this is how, so symbiosis is how the energy of this moon is affecting us. Trine and sextile planets promote collaboration by backing one another up, cheering one another on, and adding strength and value to their roles. A trine is formed by two planets 1/3 of the way around the circle from each other, 120 degrees apart. A sextile is half that, 60 degrees apart. Trine planets operate from the same element, fire, earth, air, or water, and speak that language. Sextile planets relate from the same polarity. And I've been talking about it the whole time. Relate from the same polarity, but in different modalities. They operate like supportive, non-competitive best buddies. Cool. Action. Lean into what is easy and comfortable and use that comfort to renew, grow, and expand. Look for people who have compatible and complementary ideas or skills to yours. Work with your allies. Gently expand your world through compatible people, collaborative skills, and through doing what you love. Look for a person who holds a missing piece of the project and bring them in. Find those whose work you approve of and invest in them. Engage family members and friends who really understand you. Explore what you have in common with the beloved and focus on that rather than on your differences and build out from there. Wander in a favorite landscape and learn from what you find there. Play your favorite music, but on a new instrument. Bring your attention to where the energy flows easily, where support can be found, where enthusiasm exists. Grow organically. When life is hard, a dinner with friends where you can laugh, relax, and let down your guard can be great medicine. What a balm to talk over problems with someone who understands your worldview and to whom you don't need to explain yourself. Moments of ease can prepare us for the bigger challenges ahead. Challenge. The path of least resistance can be both delightful and limiting. Don't get stuck in a comfortable rut. Gift. Lift one another up and grow. The comfort of compatible aspects can help us build up the resources needed to do the hard work and face the tough stuff. So how is this directly affecting us? We have been purified enough to where our aura signature is clear and has a resounding sound for the people that are looking to do, or just really hyped up about what we do. So basically, like, our people is going to be easier to find our people, and it's going to be easier to collab. It's going to be easier to find who you're supposed to be up under at this time. You know, especially for my folks that have been in isolation. You know, you're going to be able to find whoever or whatever it is that you've been needing to take that next step. Because the theme, it's full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. Five and 2 is a 7. So just already, 7 has been making itself known in this reading. What else? How is the full moon in Aquarius energies going to be working in our advantage? Ooh. 8th house mystery. $46, which reduces down to a 10, which we already have. True self, which reduces down to a 1, which has also been prominent in this reading. Four is universal structure. 6, one of those creation codes, one of those nourishment codes. So stabilizing, creating a universal structure for the community, for the mothers that are birthing new things into the world. And this is literal and metaphorical and metaphysical. Let's see. 8th house. The 8th house. The house of sex, sharing resources, intimacy. You know, hell, think beef with other people. If your chart were a village map, the 8th house would be on the corner of the red light district, next to a mortuary and a savings and loan bank. It is a private house where we deal with things we don't talk about in public: sex, death, debts, loan, psychic phenomenon. Here we deal with other people's resources and how they are exchanged: money, bodies, thoughts, and work, and how we inherit goods and attitudes. This house can feel uncomfortable, but it's a place where we can transform. And this is how the energies of this lunation is working in our advantage. So we are in a place where we can transform, and we're going to meet our people that will be there for us through the process. Action: assess the power dynamics between you and other people around important resources like sex, money, and inheritances. Notice if a relative or boss withholds money until you behave, or if you or a lover withholds sex until some other need is met. Just get clear in your own mind if anyone is pulling strings, and try to heal dysfunctional dynamics with clear and healthy boundaries. Seduce honestly. Not all strange sexual dynamics or unusual financial arrangements are a problem. If you understand your peculiarities don't feel coerced or controlled by them, they are just part of who you are. Bow. So, what I'm getting from this, and then it says financial investors and advisors, consultants, ministers, lovers, intuitive brain trusts, auctioneers, and investigators all work with 8th house affairs. And if they work with integrity, do so productively. So, with that being said, it's also sounding like the investors, the advisors, whoever you need is here. And it's just full steam ahead. Surrender to the fact that you have everything you need and just go. Just collab. Just open your mouth and ask. Hey, I have this idea. I love your work. Hey, I finally got my credit score up. Hey, I took this class and I learned this, and I'm ready to apply this knowledge and receive its benefits. That's how the energy of this moon is working out in our favor. Develop your second house resources, your own money, sense of worth, and body confidence to strengthen your freedom and bargaining power and operate in this realm with grace. Engage the resources handed to you, but make your own judgment calls. The 8th house calls for one last freedom: to acknowledge that death exists and be fully alive in response. Challenge: it can be tempting to manipulate by withholding love, power, or money, and hard to step away when someone else is jerking those chains. Gift: face your worst fears and step through. Feel that liberation. The trap of manipulation falls away when you don't bite the hook. Alright, so don't start acting brand new. Don't start acting brand new. You know, because a favor can turn into a misfortune real quick if you don't, like it said, act with integrity. But considering the vibe, you've been doing it up until this point, so it's damn near second nature. So Shout out to you. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to us. Alright, and how is the energy of this full moon in Aquarius? Presenting obstacles or challenges, or just dead ass not working in our favor. Taurus. Talk about stubborn. And Taurus is another fixed sign. So this Taurus and Aquarius create a square aspect between each other. Cultivate. So, challenge cultivating. What does it mean to cultivate? We're going to get it precise. Okay. Sorry, y'all. The word cultivate originates from the Latin word cultivare, meaning to till or to cultivate. This Latin word itself stems from cultus, the past participle of colere, which encompasses actions like tending, guarding, and inhabiting, as well as tilling and cultivating. Ultimately, the root can be traced back to PIE root, sorry, can't pronounce it, signifying to revolve or to move around, which also relates to the idea of dwelling or inhabiting. So that's the etymology. The verb, to grow plants, notably crops. Figurative, to nurture, to foster, to tend. To turn or stir soil in preparation for planting or as a method of weed control between growing crop plants. All right. I don't know what that was, but Taurus, ruled by Venus. I don't know, it just seems like the challenge will be, I don't know, recognizing the beauty regardless if other people do. Recognizing the beauty of what you're doing regardless if nobody but you and your tribe. You know, the world at large may not appreciate it. You know, things might be like the impact has to start somewhere and it may not be as big. That's kind of what I'm getting. Taurus asks you to hold still, dig in, grow roots, and strengthen over time. Manifest in a practical way. Signified by a bull standing in its field, Taurus rules the neck and voice. Its purpose is to bring life into matter through growing wildflowers and crops, through our muscular strength and the sensual potential of our bodies, and through the solidness of our material resources. The sun shines here April 21 through May 20. Action. Work with the metaphor of gardening. Plow the ground, plant the seeds, nurture the crops with water and fertilizer, and protect those crops from predation. Grow roots rather than travel. Investigate what concrete form your project should take and the next practical steps in that direction. Appreciate the senses. Notice what you see, smell, hear, feel, and taste. Use the senses to be in the present moment and let time flow by. Cuddle, feed. In a relationship, listen to both the signals of body chemistry and the practicalities of your life to give it a fertile field. Cultivate your garden. Like a slowly growing flower basking in the sun, find contentment in this moment. Explore the roots of the situation. Ask what feeds this idea or what feeds your soul. If you're feeling pushed about, sit, hold still, grow roots, and let the storm pass over you. Don't hurry, play the long game as you plant and tend your crops. Challenge. So this is where we're at. Taurus excess can lead you to mistake stubbornness for strength, or look for spiritual and emotional answers in the material world. Okay. So it's about basing your worth. The challenge is You know, you may misplace the value of your worth into the material world, which is literally changing, and in some cases literally and utterly just being destroyed. Okay, shit's not gonna look cute for a while. It's just not gonna look cute. That's why you have to grow roots. It's gonna look like nothing's happening for a while. Taurus is at the beginning of the zodiac, so you see that 10 or 11, depending on which system you follow. You still got 10, 11 mo zodiacs to go through, so you got a long way to go. Gift. Everything that surrounds you is made up of matter, and the word matter comes from the Latin word mater, or mother. Taurus connects you to the sacred earth, Mother Gaia herself, the physical vessel who holds spirit in the body, in the plants, and in the earth beneath us. So yeah, what Mother Earth, Mother Tara, Mother Gaia, what she's going through and has been through, it is flowing through us. And we are all attached to certain, another word that I don't really like, but I use because it's part of it. It's part of that timeline. Like, Gaia is a certain timeline of Mother Earth. Tara is a certain timeline. And then Earth is the timeline that we're on and where we inhabit. So maybe that's another challenge, is like, your senses are expanding, so you're in multiple timelines at once. Like, you are out of time, so you have a greater effect on time. That's kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. And what is the best way for us to utilize this energy from the full moon in Aquarius 2025? Bow, not the sister signs. Taurus and Scorpio. So balance it out. Ring up your sister. Maybe that's what you need to do. Call your sister. Call whoever's your opposite. Again, renewal of the poles. Oh, I love when stuff like this happens. But yes, Scorpio, investigate. Right off the bat, I'm getting investigate the changes that are going on for you. Look beyond the surface. Okay, don't get caught up in the material. We just read it from our sister girl Taurus. Venus. Now we in Mars Pluto. So again, it's that renewal and that balancing of the poles. That feminine, the femininity of Venus, you got to balance that out with the masculinity of Mars and Pluto. You have to balance chilling and taking action. Chilling and taking action. I like to pull 2 cards. How do we best utilize the energies of this full moon in Aquarius? Bow. It's just a very to the point thing. And we have another 46. So I'm probably look on the internet for some, angel number messages, plus some of my own, but these are the same thing. Stuff's dying. And then we have the bat symbolism, and then we have the scorpion. And then there's just lots of things, and then we have the 8th house, put it in a coffin. It's over. It's dead. We are officially, and have been, and will be, continue to, creating the new earth, as people say. So yes, we have Scorpio, and then we have Angel's Trumpet, which is also 46, which is 10, which is 1, death. Wow. Put it in a coffin. End it. It's over. Scorpio asks you to dive down and reach into the wellspring of your soul. Scorpio's symbols are the eagle and the scorpion, as this sign invokes both the soaring heights of the eagle's perspective and the scorpion's ability to burrow under the rocks of the psyche or culture. The fixed water sign Scorpio is ruled by Mars in traditional astrology and co-ruled by Pluto in modern astrology. It is connected to the pelvis and to the root chakra. The sun shines through Scorpio October 22 through November 1. 21. Action. Drop assumptions and ask questions. Be fascinated by a mystery. The mystery of your own alchemical transformation, cellular, rapid everything. Dive deep into the well rather than settle for the surface. Look under rocks and be curious, as this situation is going to require some research. Hence all the planets that are currently in their retrograde cycle. Take nothing at face value. Probe the conscious and unconscious passions that motivate this situation. Be aware of the sexual dynamics in the room and what role they play. Okay, so y'all got y'all little boo saying? Y'all gotta tell me y'all's business. Look at worst case scenarios so you can prepare and then feel safe enough to search for the best case scenario. Be ready to transform and transmute the situation. Distill the essence. Concentrate. Play your cards close to your chest. It's time to gather information, get the facts, work with that material, and introspect. Listen to both the facts and to your own intuition rather than to other people's opinions. Share only when you are ready. Appreciate moments alone. If you learn to be comfortable alone, you will have more bargaining power in relationships. Within the depths of your soul is your connection to the infinite. Search for it. Challenge, question everything, including your own concerns. Jealousy and possessiveness drain your energy and waste time. Before triggering your defenses, the scorpion sting, ask if that response will get you what you actually need. Gift, transformation. Scorpio loaned you the strength and curiosity to plumb the depths and face your monsters, then soar to new heights and transform the situation. Fill the well within that connects to the collective source. Yes, this moon is just literally activating that spark of renewed poles, like poles that have clear, direct communication. And I don't know if I've talked about it in my other videos, but that just reminds me of the hemispheres of the brain. And the thing in the middle that helps communications continue to go through, the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum, aka the tough body. That's what I'm saying. We put in the work for our new bodies, people. Crystalline. Okay. This video didn't last that long. I don't really feel pressed. I'm happy. I'm just looking for the other guidebook, and then we're gonna close it out. Because your girl is a little bit tired of talking. Angel's trumpet, upright, breakdown, cathartic transformation, rising from the ashes, elimination, death, shedding the old. Reverse, ignoring the call, mental and emotional crises, illusion shattered, refusing reality. Don't do it. Whew. Guidance. Angel's trumpet signals a time of catharsis or death. A deep emotional breakdown is due or near. You may feel lost in your own emotional despair, depression, shame, or unworthiness. But know the angels of discernment and darkness are here to support you. Coming eye to eye with the darkest feelings within yourself catalyzes the greatest awakening. Deeply pause, let go of control, and witness the broken pieces within yourself with loving awareness. The medicine of the bat symbolizes the need for a ritualistic death of relations, situations, or aspects of life. Bat, like angel's trumpet, signals catharsis and rebirth, signaling literal or metaphysical death of old patterns and worn out habits. Understand that you can reconstruct at any time, regardless of how shattered you might feel. At 4456. So yeah, utilize this time, I guess, until just let the cycle die off. We've already had the full moon in Aquarius. I mean, we've already had the new moon in Aquarius, and now we're at the full moon. So just let this 6 months worth of transformation in whatever area of your life, Aquarius and I guess the 8th house and Taurus and Scorpio are in your chart. And just use that and take this time to really, bring yourself back together. And this is something that I've been getting. And again, I'm still getting more comfortable with speaking about it. But like, your psychic, like once you catalyze and release all that emotion, so let yourself be empty, like your new psychic gifts are going to come online. They're going to be active. And don't scare yourself, but also don't be in a rush to like utilize it for anything other than the fact that you have now reconciled a space with yourself. So beautiful time, from a Scorpio stellium to y'all. Find the beauty in the death of things. It's a beautiful thing to stop any self-destructive and limiting, beliefs and habits for the self. And to really dive and get to know a more pure version of your truest self, because that has been held back from so many of us. So yeah, I'm gonna say that's it. And this was a good one, the ones and the sevens. Shout out to my casino lovers, my gamblers, my number lovers. It's sounding like a pretty lucky time. It's sounding like a pretty miraculous time, as long as you put forth the effort. And don't be quick to fill up your space after you put in so much effort in clearing it for what it is that you truly and truly need, want, and desire. So, again, I'm May, and I'll catch you in the next vibe session.